Hello, hello. I think we're live.
We might be live already. Fantastic. We got 2 p.m. and we like to start on time, don't we?
Indeed. I think we are live. It seems so. Yep. So,
fantastic.
Yeah, welcome everybody. It's Laura here and Nathan, of course, as well. How have you been, Nathan?
I've been awesome. I can't complain. This week has been, somehow we're getting used to this new routine. Yep. But also excited because there are some new things happening, and in some countries are already reopening for some activity. So yeah, we can see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Indeed, yeah, this week has been great for me in Spain because now you can exercise. And yeah, I promised I wouldn't talk about it, but still I want to share it because it's so great to go out in the morning and to have a long and inspiring walk. So that's great. But what I wanted to ask you, Nathan, is
please do.
We have been doing this wonderful Friday routine already for 5 weeks. No, it's 6th week today.
6 weeks
it's
already.
Our 6th webinar, yeah.
Awesome.
So
what a journey.
Exactly. Can you share what have been your favorite topics or your favorite highlights, or what are you thinking back to that journey?
It's difficult question because which of your children do you know the most? Which of the topics inspire the most?
The first one, obviously, or the last.
Well, I love the first one. But I have to say, I have got a soft spot for leadership, because I think when you lead yourself, you can improve your results anyway. So I would say that has to be one of my highlights. But I'm tempted to say the third one, or the third aspect of PMP, because it covers strategies and tools and is very real stuff that you can use in your everyday. So
yeah, I would very say, practical.
Yeah, and with so many information everywhere, I think I'm loving these powerful marketing talks because we are adding something practical, actionable, something that people can actually use.
Yeah, I agree, and that's the whole point why we're here. And yes, your children analogy is very nice, and I agree it's very hard to choose the favorite one. But I would also want to bring out the fourth one, which was about communication. And that topic for me has been so like mind-blowing and eye-opening, and all of the principles that we shared have been truly transforming my communication skills. So I can't get past that. But yes, everything else is also amazing. And the first one, mindset, come on, what are we talking about? That's like the most important one. Of course, it's the beginning of everything.
It is one of the most important things. You can be an amazing leader, you can have great strategies, but it's true. Now that you put it that way, it's true that if you're feeling really awful, if you are feeling really negative, none of those things are going to play in your favor. So it's true that at the end of the day, you need a combination of all those aspects, even if you prefer for some reason one or the other, but you still need a nice combination, a nice balance. That's the secret in success, isn't it? To find the balance between all the things that we know that we should be doing.
Yeah, that's why I love today's webinar, because it pretty much ties up all of those subjects that we have discussed over the past 5 weeks, and gives this wholesome picture to it, if that's how you can say it. Did you say wholesome picture? I don't know. In my mind,
a whole picture, like, a complete picture.
Complete picture. Yeah. I was like doing live Estonian English translation in my head.
It works beautifully.
Yeah,
the Estonian English is actually better than the Spanish English.
It's Estonglish, and you have Spanglish.
Exactly. Oh, I never heard that one before. Stonglish.
Yeah.
So it's been great, I think, to have these topics over these past weeks. But at this point, I think it would be great if we welcome everybody that is joining us for today's webinar. And we wish you a very happy, powerful Marketers Talks Friday, because that's how we are naming these Fridays. This is the new day, the new name. My name is Nathan Manzaneke, and I am one of your co-hosts alongside with Laura Kukemelk. You will hear a little bit from her now as well. But just to summarize, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a business owner, I love sales and marketing, and I'm consulting for companies. And it's such a pleasure to be here with you. We're very happy to bring you to another Powerful Marketer Talks webinar to discuss inspiring ideas, to share knowledge, and to bring a little bit of positivity into your Friday. And we know the summer is fast approaching, and most countries are starting to come out of lockdown slowly, but there's still a long road ahead. So let's use this crisis and this time as an opportunity for growth. And we really hope that you are staying positive, you're staying healthy and happy and ready for new empowering ideas. So thank you for choosing to spend this hour or so of this Friday, or whatever it is, day it is that you listen to this recording. And it's going to be a very exciting webinar, we promise.
Yes, thank you, Nathan, for this wonderful introduction. Welcome, everybody. My name is Laura, and I am your second co-host, and very happy to be here as well. I am a marketeer from Estonia, but currently I am in Spain, and I am also part of the Powerful Marketers team. And of course, as the representative of the team, I need to first of all say a huge thank you for showing up and for continuously supporting us, because it truly means so much to us. And we have heard your feedback, and we look forward to hearing from you after every webinar. So please share your ideas, share your thoughts, everything. We want to truly hear from you. And why? Because we want the show to be fun. We want the show to be insightful and inspiring, so that it's something that you can look forward to each and every Friday. And yeah, that is our dream. We want to connect marketers. We want to connect them from all over the world, so we can all share value and knowledge and experiences among us, and as a result, grow into better and happier marketers. So just let us know down below in the comments or on the Powerful Marketers community on Facebook, what are the topics that interest you more, or what we could discuss more to really bring you the most value. And if you don't want to do it publicly, then friend me on Facebook or on LinkedIn, and give me feedback, and Nathan as well, because we want to improve and we want this to be an amazing show. And by the way, if you haven't yet subscribed to our YouTube channel, then please do it now. Hit that button, smash it.
Do it now, do it.
Yeah, because that way you will get a notification every time we go live, which is, by the way, at the exact same time each Friday. It's Friday, 2 p.m. Central European time. But enough with the introductory part. I got carried away a bit. Let's get started with the show, Nathan.
I love when you get carried away that way. Let's do this. So today our topic is, what does it take to be a powerful marketer? And why these guys have this obsession with the whole powerful thing. Because we are saying about Powerful Marketer Talks, Powerful Marketer Program. What is the point? Well, if you look at this from this perspective and today's situation, many marketers feel they are overworked, overpaid, underappreciated, close to the point of burnout. Have you felt that at some point? I know I have.
I don't think they have felt overpaid, but yes, good point.
Well, yeah. I would say underpaid rather than overpaid. Yeah. And sometimes if you're a marketer and you're listening, in this case, you're not a business owner, you might feel that your colleagues and your boss maybe think that you're just the guy or the girl that does the advertising. You just do the marketing campaigns. Maybe you are just that person that is all the time on Facebook, on Instagram. You're having such a blast. Cheeky one. I mean, everybody's doing hard work, and you are the person that does nothing, living the dream. we know that's not the case. In reality, a marketer's job means so much more. You basically needing to understand everything, a bit of everything in the business: logistics, sales, business, copywriting, customer behaviors, IT, everything digital. You need to keep up with so many things, and the list goes on, of course. So we get it. Maybe not everybody does in your business, but if you feel like your job is a daily grind, or maybe you're stressed, and that continuous stress is adding and compounding and leading to emotional distress, we understand that. Or maybe you have been to this point in your career where you thought, I had enough, I want to quit. That's too much for me. Because most marketers have thought about quitting at some point their current job or their project for different reasons. And of course, it's hard to feel powerful as a marketer, as a professional, or accomplished when you feel that stress. So Laura, in your experience as an amazing marketer yourself, what do you think is the main reason why most marketers feel this way. Or why do corporations perceive marketers as these loony, creative creatures who don't really do work, they just do advertising?
Well, first of all, thank you for your confidence in me. And yeah, I understand how some businesses may feel like marketers have it so easy because they just spend time on Instagram and Facebook. But I think the issue is often that marketers do so many little things on a daily basis that don't provide immediate results, or they don't have anything major to show for it straight away. So for example, if you create one Facebook post or Instagram post without any consistency, oh my God, that's a hard word. Without any consistency, then obviously you can't expect immediate results straight away, unless it's super viral content, of course, but that's rare. You truly need consistency. You need to put in the work on a daily basis for a month, for 3 months, 6 months, or even longer, depending on the activity, to see those significant results.
Now, that's a shocking concept, isn't it, in marketing? I think
yeah, never heard about it.
We've heard about that.
Yeah, so marketing in its essence is usually a bit more of a long-term game. And those big advertising campaigns on TV or on radio or outdoor campaigns, whatever it is, those are the huge ones that are seen straight away. They're for your boss, for your colleagues, for everybody, they're out there. So I think that's why people often associate marketing with advertising, because they don't see the extra work and everything, the preparation that goes into those daily tasks. But when we look at the definition of marketing, then it's a bit different. It doesn't say marketing equals advertising. Actually, marketing is a set of techniques, strategies, and studies that aim to improve a product or a service by finding the best way to present and sell it. So you can see that marketing involves so much more than just advertising. And of course, the aim of all marketing activities is to raise awareness, generate trust, attract new customers, and retain the old ones. And in essence, build your reputation and brand love, because those things don't happen overnight. You need to put in the work on a consistent basis with the details, with the little things, with the big things, and only through consistency you can expect to start seeing something.
You're so right. That consistency is so key, and that deeper understanding of what marketing involves. But I think that idea of being close to burnout or to feel stress as a marketer is not just down to you as a marketer. It's probably down to how good a leader your boss is. So if you're an entrepreneur, careful with the kind of leader that you're becoming. We covered that also on the PMP, because that has a huge impact. There are some out there who are really aware of the importance of marketers. They really understand very well the connection between a marketer's critical contribution to the overall success of the business, to how they reach potential customers, how those customers see the brand, the products and services they're offering. And I don't want to overgeneralize, because that's always unfair, but I think that is very often just the big companies with the bigger resources, with the bigger teams, with the bigger guns are the ones who really fully utilize that value of a marketer. But maybe it's because that lack of resources. It's more complicated for smaller companies, for medium-sized companies and SMEs, because those budgets are not there. If they are kind of smaller. There's always less staff working in the marketing. So if you might feel that way if you work on one of those SMEs, you are constantly working. You're constantly that underdog. You're against these huge brands and huge giants who have been maybe in the industry for donkey's years, for maybe decades, and you feel that it's impossible. It feels like too much. And at this critical situation, when you are time or pushed for time all the time, you might feel that you're just like a fireman. You're putting out fires everywhere just to keep the business going and afloat on a daily basis. And still your boss is saying, hey, I need more. What are the sales? What are the numbers? And those business owners, maybe they don't have too much time to spend on you. They don't have the necessary focus for the activities that you know your business should be doing. Maybe they are so focused on the short term, I need this vision, like I need the numbers and the sales, that they don't do the necessary things in the long term. Does that sound fair?
Yeah, I think that's a good point. And especially now when most businesses are in survival mode, regardless of their size. And I have to mention, of course, the Maslow's hierarchy of needs again, because
The triangles.
Exactly. Is it our webinar, even if we don't talk about any triangles? So just a quick reference, according to Maslow's hierarchy of needs, our basic needs are down below in the pyramid, and it's safety needs. So that's where all of the companies are right now, regardless of their history, of their size, and so on. And that's also why most of the pre-crisis strategies have been thrown out of the window, because they don't apply anymore. The situation has changed too much. But on the other hand, I believe that there's always something good in bad situations. So I'm hoping that this confusion and this necessity to cut the budgets and the big advertising activities will make those leaders or business owners see how many other aspects or areas there are in which marketers truly contribute on a daily basis.
Yep. So if you were to somehow break down all those things, those critical tasks and priorities that you should establish in those areas in your business, what would they be? How would you classify that? Because you've been doing this for a long time. How would you classify those?
Yeah, well, that's a bit tricky because it all varies, of course, from business to business, from industry to industry, and it depends whether the company does all of the marketing activities in-house, or if if they're outsourcing something, or if they are ignoring some tasks altogether. But yeah, I think I can break it down to like the most basic chunks of tasks. So it all starts with the strategy and the tactical plan. Oh, by the way, on the screen, you can see those chunks as well. And we have divided those into two columns. So the left column is more of, how to say, like technical skills. And the right one is more about personal skills or communication and leadership and so on. But yeah, I will go over them right now. So it starts with the strategy and tactical plan. And that means gathering intel from different departments, from research, from competitors, from articles, books, trends, and so on, so that you would have enough data to actually come up with a long-term vision and a tactical plan on how to get to that vision. And that, of course, also includes budgeting your activities, knowing and understanding a bit of Excel and numbers in general. So it's not just about being a creative loony, like you said before. There's actually a lot of maths and those things involved as well.
I think some people don't really like the number crunching side of things. So some people might say, okay, I don't like that, that one that much.
Yeah, but it's actually rather easy if you have the right templates and you have all the formulas. Yeah, is that the word? Yeah, you have all the formulas inside already that do the automatic calculations. So it's way easier, but it's just something that you must be aware of, because obviously you can't go over the budget a lot because the company doesn't have that much money. And right now it's even more critical to stay within the budget because nobody has a lot of money. But yeah, moving on, the second thing is project management. And that is a huge chunk of a marketer's daily job, I would say, because in order to make all of these planned activities a reality, marketer needs to be an excellent project manager, because there's usually very many little projects happening at the same time. And depending on the activity, you need to start preparing for it maybe even months in advance. So an example I could give is a website creation or having redesigning your website. So you need to start many months in advance, not at that date when you're supposed to go live with that website, because obviously you have to think through all the necessary functionalities, consult with web developers, what are the possibilities, gather price quotations, order the design or work together with the designer to make it look nice and very good according to your brand, copywriting, all of those little things. And it takes a lot of time and it's a very extensive project. And you can imagine there are so many of those happening at the same time. So that's a huge thing for every marketer. But moving on, I would take communication and coordination as the next step, because if you think about those projects, then obviously you need to communicate with your team or with the partners, with your boss, pretty much everybody. You need to make sure that everyone is on the same page, everyone is on track, and so on. That's just part of being a good project manager. And of course, you need to communicate the important things to other departments in your company as well, so that they can all be on the same page and understand what is happening. And I can't not mention the communication to the customers as well, because I mean, that's really in the center of marketing. Well, going on, whew, that's a lot of things to say. Yeah, catching my breath like. Whew.
But this kind of illustrates the point that business owners sometimes don't appreciate how much a marketer
it's
is
so
doing.
extensive. Exactly, yeah. So I would continue with content creation, and you can see that we are really jumping from like one task to another, and that's a typical day in a marketer's life, I would say. So there's so much content that needs to be done, or even if you have somebody else who is doing the copywriting, you still need time, and you need to think through what is it that you really want to give them the necessary information and the necessary input. So in content creation, think about blog posts, social media posts, website text, newsletters, videos, and so on. There's a lot of content everywhere. And in connection to content, we have creativity, because marketing cannot be boring. People are always expecting these out-of-the-box ideas and how to differentiate and stand out. So marketing and creativity need to go hand in hand. And as a marketer, you need to be able to think out of the box and visualize those things that don't exist yet, whether it's a campaign or maybe it's even a product improvement. There are so many things that you have to visualize. And obviously, you need to work closely with the designer if you have one, or if you are working on the visual part yourself, then there are many free tools that help you with that. For example, Canva.com, I know that many marketers use that, and there are similar options as well. And the point is that whatever you do, whatever it is that you want to put out to the world in your marketing, then obviously you need to put a visual with it, because just putting some text somewhere it's very noisy out there, let's say it. You need to somehow differentiate. And what else do we have here? Digital marketing. Yeah, I haven't talked about that. So we obviously live in a very digital world, and we can't get past that. And even especially now that those old school companies who were not doing anything digital yet are being forced to go online, we can really see the importance of digital marketing. And yeah, even if you don't need to do it on your own, if you have a great service provider who does that for you, you still need to understand the basics enough to evaluate whether your service providers are doing a good job, or maybe you should change something in the strategy. Maybe you should change the partner. You just need to get the basics. And when I talk about digital marketing, the things that come to my mind are social media ads, display ads, Google search ads, website SEO, those different landing pages and tracking them in Google Analytics, Facebook pixels, and so on. So there's actually a lot of codes and a lot of HTML as well. So you kind of have to understand the basics of that as well. And finishing off with hands-on activities, because all of those things that I have just gone over in the past, I don't know, forever, feels like I've been talking for 5 years already. Anyway, all of those things need to be done. So even if you have many partners or many team members, you still have so much to do in your daily life as a marketer, whether it's sending out a company newsletter 3 times a week, or tracking metrics every week, or having meetings with different people. The days just go by very, very fast. Whew, wow, I think that's it in the big picture, but I can imagine that somebody is now listening and thinking, oh my God, how could she not say that? That's such a obvious part of a marketer's job. So if I forgot something very crucial, please, now is your time to shine. Write it in the comments so that I can see it later and be like, oh my God, how could I do that?
No. I think that was very complete. And it's a great representation of what marketers really do and how hard you guys work. And as a marketer, you don't only need to be great in your marketing activities, as you were saying, but also so many other things, communication skills, leadership skills, to make all those things happen in an organization. And of course, it all starts with the right mindset and with having enough relevant and trustworthy information to start with. But coming back to your great list, I think what happens is that some business owners just don't fully comprehend the importance of their marketing department and what they can do for them. And in many cases, it's the small businesses which were created maybe by freelancers. Maybe they were a great technician in their field, a great professional of their trade, but they are not great business leaders. They decided to create those companies, those businesses, but they never studied marketing. They never studied business strategy. So they don't really know how to apply marketing correctly. They are not even aware of what marketing can do for the business strategy. Or maybe it's a type of industry where business owners don't really think that they need advertising. They think, hey, I get customers every day through the door. Why would I need to invest in marketing? So as a result, they just disregard marketing altogether. So what does that mean? That maybe you as a marketer, you are limited in your success. I love this example that John Maxwell uses. He says that in an organization, if you've got a leader, he calls that the law of the lead. If your boss, and if you're a boss, listen to this, let's say from 0 to 10, you are a level 3 leader. Your team, your marketing team, for example, is never going to be able to progress beyond what you know about marketing. And that makes the job of the marketer so difficult.
Yes, you're right. And I really love that example that you just shared. And that's why I think it's really in the hands of every marketer to take control of their possible success. Even if your boss is limiting you, you can still improve on your own, and you can empower yourself as a person so that you're confident and you understand those connections in business so that you can become a great leader and also a great communicator. So you may actually move on from that company or from that boss one day, or maybe you can also educate your boss that, by the way, there's things that can be done a bit differently. And as a result of this personal development or growth, you can really take charge of the marketing and show to the CEO or the business owner what should be done, explain why it should be done, and explain how it would benefit the company. And if they see that, if they see the results, then of course they would be happy to let you do those things in the future as well, because they care about the results of the business. They want the business to grow and do well.
Absolutely. Maybe not everybody will appreciate how powerful you're becoming in the beginning, but they eventually will do that. And this is why this all comes together, because we were talking at the beginning about the word powerful and why we insist so much on that. Well, yeah, a powerful person is not something you become just by using shortcuts, just because you have a beautiful smile, or because you are able to win people with your charisma, or you smooth talk everybody, or maybe you are naturally bossy and then you just get on with that and people listen to you. That there's not the way it works. It might work for somebody for some short period of time, but it never works in the long run. It's not sustainable. So a powerful person grows with trust. That is the only way. And growth is a response to natural authenticity, when you are courageous enough to stand for what you believe, when you are selfless in the way you work, you are ready to understand what the broad picture is there, and you listen to other ideas, and you show genuine wisdom. I love that expression, wisdom, which is knowledge applied. It's not what you know, it's what you do with what you know that actually counts. And if you nurture your leadership, if you strengthen, if you train that leader that we all have inside us, you're going to be amazed of the results you're going to be getting, even as a marketer in a business. Yeah,
I couldn't agree more. That was very well put, Nathan. And I think that many people in general are victims to their circumstances. So they have this very fixed mindset thinking, and that really puts a ceiling on your true potential, because whatever it is that you believe is possible is what is possible for you. And if you believe that you can only succeed on a scale of 10 at the level 2, then obviously you can't get past that. And if you want to be a powerful marketeer and also a powerful person in general, then you need to take responsibility for your own happiness, for your own success, and for your own life. Don't leave it in the hands of anybody else. You need to determine these critical aspects of your life that bring you the most joy and make you feel the most alive, because we all have limited time on this earth. I'm sorry for being a party pooper.
We're all gonna die.
Yeah, but I think it is a great daily reminder to think what it is that we really want to do in our life, what makes us the happiest, because time goes by so fast, and there's no point in postponing our true happiness by being preoccupied with daily tasks and just getting through the day. There is no point in working 24/7 if it doesn't make you happy. You will just exhaust yourself and your productivity will go down, and you can't sustain it long term.
Absolutely. I think there's a lot of people that I think they mistake it. They believe that if they work every hour in the day, somehow their lives are going to improve tomorrow. So they're working for tomorrow, but today they're feeling exhausted and super tired. And as a matter of fact, your productivity today is going to go way down if you're exhausted, if you're not keeping that balance, and because that exhaustion, that tiredness is going to be building up from day to day and having this cumulative effect that is not going to help you anyway with your results today and tomorrow. So a smarter way would be to use this 8-8-8 principle, where you actually find the balance between 3 chunks of your day. So you allocate 8 hours of your day for working, not to be in the work, 8 hours for family, recreation, and anything else that inspires you and you truly love to do. And then 8 hours for real resting. And if you want high performance, you need high performance resting. So you need to make sure that you rest really well. And by enforcing this balance in your life, you will soon start to see drastic changes in your life quality, how you feel, how you think, you feel more sharp, brighter. And by the way, the work quality also improves as well as a consequence, because you have this time constrained and you need, it helps you to be more efficient in those 8 hours that you're working. And this, by the way, doesn't allow way for procrastination.
Yeah, that's true. That's exactly like students who are preparing for the exam the next day. There is no more possibility for procrastination. You need to get it done. And the same applies if you only have 8 hours to do your daily work. So if you are going through the day and feeling like, I don't really want to do this, then you will see your calendar like, oh, I don't have anywhere to push it. I need to do it. And you will be so much more effective. But another key point here is that you need to take responsibility for the principles in your work. Because I believe that there are many marketers, most marketers, who know what should be done in their heart. They know that all these tactical plans and metrics and strategies and so on, that they are super important in marketing, but there never seems to be time for these big things. And you just let other people steal your time by answering straight away to the emails, to the calls, and so on. And you never get to those big things. But what you need to do is to make time for the important things first, because those emails and those calls most likely will be there in an hour as well. And I love this example with a glass jar. So if you think of a glass jar and you fill it all the way up to 3/4 with sand, then it's pretty much full. There's just a little bit of room, but not enough to put in big and small stones. And this is what happens when you fill your days with focusing on putting out those fires only and answering only those emails. There's never enough room to make the important things happen. But if you switch that order, and if you put the big stones in first, then add the smaller stones into the empty spaces, and as a last thing, add the sand, then there's so much more room for so many more activities. And that's when you can be truly effective and truly powerful in your work.
Yeah, it really helps with productivity. First things first. And I think the tendency we can experience as human beings to choose the easy way and fill everything with sand is because our brains are looking for comfort, are looking for easy. So by switching the focus from easy to necessary first, then we get all those important things done in the beginning, in the first place. And even the things that are a bit more challenging, because you were pointing out, Laura, in that example, some technical stuff that not everybody loves. We might find it uninspiring or boring. Legislation, budgeting, coming up with plans. Well, if we still focus, even those things that we don't like so much, we get them done consistently, and we follow when we allot time in the calendar to do them. We choose to focus 100% on those when it belongs in the calendar, then it works. But procrastination is so easy to fall into that. Everybody could fall into that tendency. Not everybody wants or knows how to stay powerful. That's a choice. And it's a choice you have to make. And that entails the actions you are going to take every day. And the other thing from this point is that we're so used to do what other people want us to do. And that's a mistake, because it's way more complicated to take ownership and responsibility, to be brave enough to say to somebody, I'm sorry, I don't agree with this. I don't think this is urgent. I think I need to finish what I'm doing. And it's necessary to say those things, to say no at times, even to your boss, because sometimes your boss will come and say, this is urgent, this is urgent, this is urgent. And everything cannot be that urgent. Not all things are priorities. Somebody else's priority may not be something that contributes to the success of your work. And both you and that person, even if he's a boss, will have to accept that fact. So you have to learn how to show others how time-consuming different tasks are, and you have to explain to them how, when they choose to prioritize some tasks, that enables important things to be done more effectively, and that benefits everybody in the company.
Yeah, and I can really relate to this fear of saying no, but it's learnable for sure. And obviously you need to just push yourself and stick to your schedule and do the difficult things instead of easy. Because choosing easy over hard may not be the most beneficial choice for us in the long term. It may seem very tempting today, but think, does it really help my long-term vision? Because it's important to realize that your short-term activities need to be aligned with your long-term plan and vision. That's how we make those things happen, by putting in the work every single day. And if I keep postponing, whether it's eating healthily, as a personal life example, when I keep postponing, like, okay, I will start eating healthily in 2 months, then obviously I'm postponing my future success. I need to start today. You need to take responsibility, take action. And this is exactly why we have created the Powerful Marketer program, because we know that there are many out there who want to take this responsibility for their life, who want to wake up every day determined and motivated and knowing in their heart that they're doing the right thing and that they are on the right path. And as marketers, we are always humans first. So you cannot be an excellent professional if you are unhappy in your personal life. It is all so intertwined. And this is why we believe that there are 5 key result areas for any successful marketer.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's go and share them. Let's share these 5 powerful areas and what is the impact they can have in our success as marketers.
What a great idea. Let's do it. Well, it all starts with the powerful mindset. And I have to bring in a great quote here. Whoever watched our last week's webinar, then they saw that I'm the master of quotes, and I have to...
We wouldn't have it other way.
Yeah, I have to carry on with my title. Yep. So the wonderful quote is by Albert Einstein. And he has said that we can't solve problems by using the same kind of thinking we used when we created them. And that's why the first thing that every marketer needs is to work on their mindset. And you may think, why? Well,
Why?
great question. Thank you, Nathan. Well, if you don't work on your mindset, then it's actually impossible to make all the other key areas in your life to work correctly. So it doesn't matter how good you are professionally at the moment. If your mindset fails you, if you allow yourself to be led by fear and self-doubt and negativity, then it is impossible to achieve the things you want. And let's say that even if you somehow magically could achieve all of those things, then you would not be able to enjoy it with your negative mindset. And that's why we have also put so much emphasis on mindset inside the Powerful Marketer program. It's truly the foundation for everything.
That is so true. And mindset, you know, that is the way we choose to see the world. It's like the lenses in the glasses with different colors. You could watch reality in a black and white way, or you can see it in full color. So how do you see it? Do you focus on the negative, or do you have that tendency to criticize everything, to be very negative? Or are you a person that focuses on gratitude and positivity? And that's the key. Wherever you choose to put your focus, that is what you are going to get in return. That's a principle that always is fulfilled. So being aware of yourself is an integral part of a solid foundation for being able to push your own limits and possibilities. And I know mindset is a word that gets us used, it's used so vastly in many places. And it may sound like this hunky-dory thing up in the clouds, and you might not be able to understand exactly how do you do that? How do you change those aspects of how you think and who you are? Or is it about just smiling and pretending that everything is all right and yeah, being this fake positive person? So that's not what it is. Mindset development is a process, and it's a long one, because it's about rewiring our brain to teach ourselves to think differently. And it all starts with understanding yourself, understanding why you do what you do, your identity, where it comes from. And there are actionable steps that you can actually take and processes and habits that help you form this new positive and solutions-oriented mindset.
Yeah, I agree. It takes a lot of work. But if you know what you need to do, then it's obviously way easier to get it right. And if you're right now listening and thinking, I would love to learn more about this and understand why I am the way I am, and how could I really be more in charge of my mindset, then I have wonderful news for you. Inside the PMP, the first module, which is all about mindset, is open for everybody at the moment without any cost, so it's free. And we only intend to keep it open until the end of May. So if you haven't checked that out yet, I strongly urge you to do so, to go to marketersprogram.com and take advantage of this material that is available for you for free.
Well, you have to do it right now then.
Yeah, absolutely. But this leads us to the second key area to becoming a powerful marketer, and that's powerful solutions creation, or our fundamental knowledge that is stored in our subconscious mind. And that sounds very magical and mystical, but it's actually not. It's something that you can work on, and it affects the way you set goals for yourself and how you achieve them. And when you think of the world, especially in the past couple of months, you can see that it's changing so rapidly. But what has remained the same are the fundamentals, so the methods of understanding people. And of course, technology can shape our thoughts and feelings and actions, but the core of business and the core of managing relationships in business has remained the same. So that fundamental knowledge we have in our subconscious mind is really what helps us to make better decisions on a daily basis. So my number one suggestion here is to think through if your basic understandings of marketing, business, sales, customer service, psychology, and so on, whatever else type of area you need in your daily work, if those understandings are based on relevant and trustworthy information or not. Because without fully understanding those fundamental truths, then every new piece of information you receive from the news or from somebody else who was talking to you and saying, by the way, did you hear something? Every new piece of information you receive will be built on this shaky ground. And this will cause you to doubt yourself, to change your opinions mid-meeting, to contradict yourself in different situations or so on. And that does not really exude a lot of confidence and expertise from you.
No, you don't want that lack of confidence or confusion. And this is why some of the basic truths that we share at PMP and we recommend you to work are the following. The house business concept. This is a great concept that highlights the fundamentals of business, sales, marketing, customer service, psychology, how all of those aspects are intertwined, really well connected in a business. And by understanding these relationships between different departments in the business, you can make better informed decisions that benefit the whole company, not just the marketing activities in this case. Mm-hmm. And also, another easy but still a very powerful concept to understand is the 8 Ps, or what we call a PMP, the perpetual marketing concept. Why? Well, this shows all the key areas in marketing that should actually be included in your work as a marketer. And if you get that, you will truly see your importance, your relevance in a business, and that your job is not only one of the Ps, which is the promotions and the campaigns or the advertising. That's just one of your superpowers. You got 8 in total. So own it, realize that potential, that power, educate yourself in how all these Ps, all these areas impact your business, and then be able to provide expert insight to your business owner, to management and other departments in the business. That's going to make you look and become truly powerful.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And I would also like to add the idea of a marketing audit. And I know that the word sounds a bit scary, but
audit.
Yeah, but it's actually a very useful thing in your daily job as a marketer. And if you make some simple truths clear to yourself, then you will see how easy it is to regularly evaluate your marketing activities. And this is what you need to really assess if what you have been doing has been working or not. And doing an annual audit, or even in a smaller scale, a monthly audit, will open your eyes to how much data is around you. And you truly don't need to guess in the dark with your activities. You can just decide on the data. And one great tool for that is the result technique, which you can see on the screen. And that enables you to perform an annual audit. And I wouldn't recommend using it more than once or twice a year because it is rather extensive, but very useful. So all of the letters in the result technique signify an important activity in the auditing process. So if you remember this process and if you do it regularly, then it will give you so much insight about your business, about the industry, about the competitors, about all the possibilities around you. And that will allow you to be way more confident in meetings and in daily decision making as well, because you have all this data backing you up and you can easily provide examples. And another great concept which you can work on in your subconscious mind or in the fundamentals is the EISENHOWER matrix. And that enables you to focus better and make ideas happen. So get acquainted with this simple yet very effective tool and make it your habit to use it when planning your work weeks and work days as well, so that you can always start with the most important and the most urgent tasks. And those are the big stones in your glass jar. And then you can fill your glass jar with the smaller stones and sand and so on.
And as working with your mindset and cognitive mind is a never-ending part of your life, you also need to keep on working with strategies to make sure that your life and your work go in the direction that you wanted to go. So how do we do that? And again, we've mentioned this several times because it's so critical. You need to own it. You need to take responsibility. And then you will be ready to take it and use it as described. And that leads us to the third key area to becoming a powerful marketer, which is powerful strategy generation. Marketing success, marketer success is not a funnel. We've said this so many times. Funnels are dead. They don't exist.
Yep.
They are like Santa Claus. Sorry. I hope there are not any kids
Nathan,
here.
Nathan,
So
Nathan.
marketer success is a repeatable cycle. It relies on long-lasting principles that you can harness, that you can master once you learn them. In marketing, how do you know if you are using the right channels? How do you know that you're using the right activities for your market? How can you make sure that you are complying with global marketing legislation? How can you deal with so many distractions with FOMO, fear of missing out, and still be up to date with the latest trends? Understanding these topics will allow you to craft a powerful strategy, a tactical plan, and a metric system that you can use in your work to be so much more confident, much more efficient and successful. And of course, one of the easiest ways to get started with crafting a powerful strategy, not the EISENHOWER matrix, no, but the S marketing technique. How does that work? Well, this is an amazing, super cool 10-step process that helps you to make sure that you cover all of the basics in your research, your strategy creation, and they make so much sense, don't they? Sales and service, you need to analyze how or diagnose the situation. Then you have to assess whether the metrics work or not. What do you measure? Your audience. Then you have to do some research and find out insights that will help. Then although that feedback that you get from the research, you transform that into knowledge, and then you convey that into the company. You use it to enhance the emotions that your marketing creates, your target group, the industry. How do you do your networking? How do you communicate those things? And then it has an impact on the goals that you establish. So this is a simple way to analyze how do you create strategy. Love it. You have to love it.
Yeah, it is a simple one, but simple things are usually the best things because they're easy to remember and also easy to implement. So yes, if you do this wonderful strategy, then one thing that you need to do with it now is to be able to communicate it to others, because there's no use in your beautiful plans and the great ideas if nobody hears about them or if nobody understands them due to your poor communication skills. So think about the other departments, the CEO, the service providers, all of those people around you who really are vital to your success as a marketer. And think, do you dare to say no to your colleagues or maybe even your boss, like you, Nathan, said before? And to truly allow yourself to say no if you believe that what your boss or colleague is suggesting is not the best course of action right now. Do you work according to your daily schedule or jump from one task to another, depending on who writes or calls with the most urgent things? Because usually everybody's things are the most urgent for them, but you don't need to allow others to dictate your time, because that truly sabotages your effectiveness. So you need to take responsibility and talk to people, communicate what you're thinking, what you're feeling, explain your point of view, why this course of action is better than what they suggested, and so on. Because you think people know, you think people understand, but assuming is the root of all evil. And actually people are so much more different than we are. So I would say that we can't really get past communication skills. It's essential. And that is why it is also the fourth key area to becoming a powerful marketer. And we call it powerful communication literacy.
Yep. And how do you understand and communicate your ideas to anyone? And how do you make it effectively? And the challenge is not just to explain or to convey the ideas, it's how you are able to inspire people, even if they are very different to you. For example, imagine that you want to inspire somebody that has double your age, or is considerably younger, considerably older. And this is where this is really helpful. Valid questions that can help us to not to be guessing or shooting in the dark, but to get acquainted with this technique, the powerful life curve theory. And it shows how you can best approach people in different age gaps and what they are going all through from a physiological point of view, and also from a psychological point as they age and as time advances. A second aspect that I think is great that really helps us is when we keep in mind behavioral styles, personality patterns. Why? Because you are you and you have your preferred communication style, and that might be great for people exactly like you, but that might not be suitable for personality types that are very different from you. And one easy way to decode how people prefer to behave and prefer to communicate is the DISC profile. And you can use this, by the way, both in your professional relationships and personal life. So we have all these personalities. We call them by these colors, but that doesn't have any other implication. So bear with me. We have the reds, people that are very oriented to results. They're very direct. We have the yellows that are all about energy. They crave for attention and inspiration and influence. We have the blues, who are the magicians. They are super detailed, organized, oriented to process. They are the guys that make the things and follow them to the end. We have the greens, not the veggies, not the vegetable, who are all about relationship building, all about taking care of people around them. And each and every one of these behavioral styles needs a different approach in communication. If you want them to respond to you, you want that desired outcome, you need to adapt the way you speak to these guys.
Yeah, those two concepts that you just shared are life-changing. At least they have been for me. And I also want to share another concept, which is the GAINSX framework, which you can also see on the screen, because that is another life-changing thing for me, because it allows anyone to become a powerful networker, regardless of their personality type, regardless of their experience, whether they're shy or super confident. It's just a very easy framework to follow again. So if you're feeling anxious about meeting new people or making new business relationships or even personal relationships, then using this framework will make it so much easier. And it's a framework with questions that you can ask to really understand what is important to another person and who they are at their core. So use this framework in every networking event, maybe even in weddings where you don't know people, or in big birthday parties once they are allowed again, obviously not now, but in e-networking events, you can also use this GAINSX profile. So it allows you to pinpoint the goals of another person, their biggest achievements or what they're the most proud of, their interests, their networks, where do they usually hang, what do they love to do, their skills, and of course, their big why. Why do they do what they do? What drives them, and so on. So this is the basis for creating and maintaining meaningful relationships.
Of course, and super important to use this structure or that structure approach. And once you know it and you've been able to master it, that's when it's truly time to put your words into practice and use the power of leadership, which is the fifth area to becoming a powerful marketer. Even if you think, well, I'm not the business owner, why should I become a leader? Well, you still want to keep your action plan in motion. You want to be able to hold yourself accountable. And if you work with a team, you might need your team also to be accountable. This is why it can really help us to use the success process to motivate the desired change, not just in yourself, but also in other people you may work with. And remember, everything starts with the power to create emotions, and the right kind of emotions, because the wrong emotions can create the wrong outcomes in that case. We are all emotional beings. We crave for a bigger purpose, a bigger meaning behind our actions, and only by catering, appreciating, and catering to that need, we can trigger a chain of reaction that ends with creating the powerful results that you desire. And that's exactly what we all want. And another, you may think a bit obvious, but still very crucial tip, is to better use the project and time management processes. How good are you as a time manager? How good are you as a project manager? We can always improve on these fronts, isn't it? Isn't that true? Those two things. Yeah. And it's not going to happen if you keep on doing the same things over and over, like Laura quoted from Mr. Einstein. You do the same things, you're going to get the same results. They might not be up to par. So what are you going to do? Are you going to wait until you have more time miraculously? Or are you going to analyze what is it that you can tweak that you can change in your processes. That takes for a very proactive approach, not waiting or not being reactive. You have to put time aside to find out, what can I do different? Can I use any apps? Can I use any programs, any systems that will allow me to be more efficient? Or maybe everything that it takes is just to be more meticulous with your calendar and respect 100% whatever your calendar says. And lastly, learning how to delegate and inspire your team to do the things they have to do. And that way you won't have to do those things, because they will do it correctly, and that will free up time in your calendar.
Yeah, I wanted to just make a quick side note that in our team, in Powerful Marketers, we have a saying that the calendar is the law. So if somebody asks like, okay, do you have a moment right now to go over this, whatever it is, then the other person goes, wait, let me check, the calendar is the law. Yes, I have availability in 2 hours. Let's schedule that time then. But yeah, there you have it. Those are the 5 steps to becoming a powerful marketer. And just to recap, I'll go over them briefly again. So the first one was working on your mindset, because that's the basis for all the other steps. Second one was working on your subconscious mind, or those fundamentals that really help you to make better and quicker decisions. Third one was your professionalism, your strategy generation. Fourth one, how do you communicate those strategies to other people? Communication. And the fifth one, leadership, how to lead other people, how to motivate them, and also how to keep yourself accountable. And if you are now listening and thinking, well, these topics sound interesting, maybe one topic speaks more out to you than the other. Well, the great news is that over the past 5 weeks, we have actually focused on each and every one of those. So if you go to our YouTube channel, not right now, keep on watching right now, but after this live video, you can really see our previous recordings. So the first webinar we did was about mindset, and that was called How to Grow as a Marketer in Chaos. The second webinar was about the subconscious mind and the fundamentals, and that was called the 3 Emergency Marketing Principles. The third one was about your professionalism and your marketing skills, and that was called How to Overcome Your Marketing Challenges in 2020. And the fourth one was about communication. It was called How to Effectively Communicate in Business and in Life. So we talked about the life curve, about the personality types, about the generations. And what we did last week was the 5th webinar that was about leadership, and it was called How to Grow into a Leader from Any Marketing Position. So if you want to check any of them out, please do so after this webinar.
Not now.
Yep, nope.
Make sure you do that.
Stay with us.
Exactly. We'd only summarize a little bit, and remember that you can become so much more as a marketer and as a professional. You can accomplish so much more by working on your own success. So that, I guess the suggestion is to think, who do we want to become as a marketer over the next 5 to 10 years? And how do you think that is going to happen? Do you think this change will happen on its own? Or do you appreciate that you need to take action now and you have to choose to develop yourself? Because the fact of the matter is, you work on your success now, then you become that confident, that self-confident, inspiring marketer that you know that you can be. Yeah, and if you want different results, then it'd be crazy to keep on doing the same things. And that's what Einstein has also said, that it's a definition of insanity to do the same things over and over again, but to expect different results. And if you want a big change in your life, if you want to skyrocket your self-growth, then the Powerful Marketer program is really something that can help you to do that. Because inside PMP, we have a separate module for each of the 5 key areas we covered today. And in total, there's 893 minutes of audiovisual learning material. And that's approximately 14 hours divided between different topics. So each video is around an hour, or some are less, some are more. And to make your change long lasting, we didn't just want it to be inspiring so that you watch these videos but never actually make a huge change in your life. We also included 55 action items.
And those help you to implement your new learnings into your life straight away. And that way you can achieve more, you can reach higher, and you can truly become a powerful marketer. So if you are interested in that, then go check out marketersprogram.com.
Please do. And let me share with you, I've been in business for a long time, more than 20 years actually. Although I know that I don't look like that old. Of course I don't.
You look like 20.
Of course I do. But one of the main things that I've been struggling traditionally with in my professional life is because of my behavioral style, being too lenient to other people's interests and not being able to be a master of my time, if that makes sense, because people would come and say, please, Nathan, can you help me with this, pretty please? Mm-hmm. And I would end up doing somebody else's task, somebody else's job, and therefore sacrificing my own interest and my own success. And some of the things that have to do with mindset, with how you communicate, with how you're able to keep yourself accountable and others as well, and how to say no, those little things can have an amazing impact in your life. They certainly did on mine. And if you want the same success and become a stronger, a well-grounded professional, PMP is really going to help you like it did to me in these principles.
Yeah, wow, you were describing me, it felt, because I also really put more value in others than I would put in myself. I believe that the others were more experienced, more intelligent, they knew better, and then I, of course, prioritized whatever they needed me to do over what I wanted to do, what I really believed in. And I would say that I believed in every other person way more than I believed in myself. But the truth is that the only person who needs to believe in you is yourself. That's the basis of everything. And by working on this faulty thinking pattern, and by really helping myself understand better why I am the way I am, why did I choose to be such a people pleaser? Why don't I believe more in myself? Why am I not more confident? I started to see those little things that I could tweak in my daily action plan. And those little things started to make a bigger and bigger impact as the days went by. And I started seeing my confidence raising. I started seeing my results improve. I started seeing my energy levels go up and so on. And that's truly what the Powerful Marketer program is all about. It's a process. It's a list of ideas, a list of actionable things that you can do every day to completely transform your life. And I can say today 100% that I put myself first. I really trust in myself. I work on myself for myself so that I can be the best version of myself and actively create the life of my dreams, because I only have one life, and you too as well. So make it the best that it could possibly be.
That's so inspiring. That's awesome, by the way, Laura. The good thing is that you don't have to imagine how this is. You don't have to wonder, how is this going to look? How am I going to feel when I go through this program? Because you can go right now inside of PMP through our free resources program, and you will find under marketersprogram.com a 7-video series called The Secrets of Powerful Marketers, and also an extensive 18-page PDF guide on different levels of growth as a marketer. And you are going to be able to test yourself how you're doing right now. Where do you stay in your growth as a professional? And then you can compare that versus where do you want to be in a few months, in a few years' time. So go right now, check out those free resources and give yourself a chance to be inspired.
Yeah, please do that, because your job as a marketer and as a leader is to have something valuable to give, to communicate it authentically, and to motivate others through your marketing and sales and all other activities that you do on a daily basis. And all of those things always start with yourself. You are the core of your success, both personally and professionally. And you deserve to have a type of work that brings you joy every single day. And you don't need to work on something that does not allow you to enjoy your own life.
And this is where we want to leave you. We want to leave with this high note of inspiration on this webinar this week. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for sharing this time together. We wish you to have a very powerful weekend. Remember to start working on your growth, to work on your own development, so you can start enjoying the new week ahead of us, but stronger.
Absolutely. Thank you. Please subscribe to our channel so that you can join us next week as well and watch all of the recordings of our previous webinars. We wish you the best. Have an inspiring weekend and a great Friday evening. Thank you, guys. Take care.